What's
Who can tell me how to answer questions? No one. Not even a hanging judge can do that to me. No one. It's not going to start with you. It has never happened. I'm answering the way I want to answer.
Which direction are you moving from that stage? Which direction are you moving? You are moving to the far right. Is that correct? And you're also firing shots towards the right where those people are standing. Can you confirm that?
I'm not firing any shots, by the way. There's no shots I'm firing. So which shots am I going to say I'm firing them from the far right? I'm not firing any shots. I've never fired any shots.
Why didn't you just fire towards their direction as they are standing there?
It's none of your business. It's my business where I fire from. It's my event. I can even fire under the stage if you so wish. I decide how I'm going to perform it. It's none of your business. You have no business with how EFF conducts its business. As long as it's lawful and it doesn't violate any law, where do you come in? Ungenapi? It's their statement, Your Worship. But from prosecutor's point of view, objectively, if he had not allowed to be used by Forum for political ends, we wouldn't be where we are. This matter was advocated for by Forum.
So what?
This was no issue, Your Worship. That's why no one picked it up. There was no issue at all.
No. Clearly, there was an issue because now you have been found guilty in the firearm discharge case. You are now a convicted criminal that is waiting sentencing on the 23rd of January 2026. You know, guys, one thing that I'm not hearing from the supporters of the EFF is Julius Malema was actually wrong to do that. And we are not saying these people must call for the head of Julius Malema. We are not saying the supporters of the EFF must demand Julius Malema to step down as the leader of the economic freedom fighters. But the only thing that we are saying is that, guys, please just acknowledge that Julius Malema was wrong. But no, these people are now saying the same things that have been said by Julius Malema throughout this case, that no, this has nothing to do with the fact that I have fired a real gun in a stadium packed with people and I could have possibly hurt somebody. No, this has everything to do with Julius Malema saying that this case was brought by Forum, and him saying that this case was advocated by Forum. It is him trying to say that there is no legitimacy in this case, despite the fact that he is guilty and there's evidence showing that he is guilty. There is no legitimacy in this case because this case was brought by Forum, and somehow the supporters of the EFF have brought that narrative, and now on social media we are annoyed every day by the noise pollution coming from the EFF telling us that Julius Malema was found guilty not because he fired a real gun in a stadium packed with people during the rally of the EFF in 2018, but Julius Malema has been found guilty because he's speaking on behalf of black people, because Julius Malema, he is fighting the white establishment, and this is the only reason why the courts have actually found him guilty. Man, I cannot believe that this is the kind of gaslighting that we are subjected to as South Africans. And as black, rational South Africans, what do we say when the supporters of the EFF come out and say nonsensical things like this? As rational black people, what do we say? What do we say? Because Julius took a gun and he fired that gun during the rally of the EFF. It was a real gun. I know he tried to say that, no, it was a toy gun. No, it was not. If it was a toy gun, why did you hand it over to the security? These are just some of the small questions that even the supporters of the EFF are not asking themselves, that if this was a toy gun, after Julius Malema fired that gun, he immediately gave that gun to a security. So why would he do that if it was just a toy gun? The security took the gun from Malema because they know that, no, he was not supposed to have this gun in his hands from the first place. And he was never supposed to shoot with this gun. This is the reason why the security took the gun. But now we are being told that, no, it has nothing to do with that. You guys are not seeing the bigger picture here. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact that these racists are trying to silence Julius Malema. You know, guys, as black people in this country, if we are serious about moving this country forward, as black people in this country, if we are serious about moving this country forward, then we have to stop allowing ourselves to be gaslit by these politicians and their supporters. We have to stop. I mean, like, look at the ANC. The ANC, they never take accountability for anything. Everything that has happened in this country, we know that 99.8% of the problems that South Africans are facing today, they can be linked directly with the African National Congress. But today, as we speak, the ANC continues to blame apartheid for everything in this country. They are not taking accountability for anything. And are you surprised that Julius Malema is refusing to take accountability? Julius Malema comes from the ANC. So he is displaying the same attitude that the ANC cadres always display whenever they have to take accountability. He is one of them. He is one of them. And it is a shame that you will find black people in this country doing their best to protect politicians, from taking accountability. And the same people will say that, no, the ANC needs to step down because they are destroying our country. Ramaphosa has deployed these incompetent ministers. We need to overhaul. The ANC needs to go down. Somehow they want the ANC to be forced to take accountability. But now that their leader has to take accountability, no. You can never ask our Messiah, Julius Malema, to take accountability for anything. I can't believe that there are young people in this country that can actually go into the internet and read about this case and how the judges have actually reached their conclusions. These people are on social media telling South Africans that the only reason why Malema was found guilty is because he's speaking on behalf of black people. I can't believe that, man. I can't believe, like, guys, I'm actually worried, man, about the future of this country. I'm worried about the future of this country because these people that are coming after us, they are twice as stupid. And I don't think that we have actually experienced a worse voters. I think the people that are coming after me, I think these people are going to put the final coffin into the final nail into the coffin of South Africa. It is sad, man. It is sad. I mean, guys, just look, even through the statement of the NPA, just look at how plain it is. The statement of the NPA, it says that Mr. Julius Malema has been found guilty of unlawful possession of a firearm, unlawful possession of ammunition, discharge of a firearm in a built-up area, failure to take reasonable precautions to person or property, and reckless endangerment to people or property. The judgment reaffirms the NPA's commitment to upholding the rule of law and the proper administration of justice without fear or favor. The changes emanate from the 28th of July 2018 EFF rally held in Mdantsane in the Eastern Cape, during which Malema fired a rifle in the air, allegedly belonging to a security company of which Andren Snyman, Mr. Malema's co-accused, was a director. Since the matter was enrolled 4 years ago, the prosecution meticulously presented its evidence by calling 19 witnesses to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. After the state closed its case, Malema and Snyman subsequently made an application for a discharge in terms of Section 174 of the Criminal Procedure Act, which was dismissed by the courts. The matter has been adjourned to the 23rd of January 2026 for a pre-sentencing. And now this is where we are starting to hear the kind of a dangerous language coming from the EFF, but we will get to that.
Mr. Malema embodies or symbolizes an attitude of arrogance. These are your words. You also go on to say that he, including his party, embody a culture of chaos and violence. Let's understand a little bit more of why you have chosen that kind of a description.
Yes, I think there are a few things. We've previously seen quite a few times where he himself and certain members of that party have made very intimidating statements with regards to the state, with regards to private individuals and people that he differs from politically. The fact that someone discharges a firearm in a public setting without lawful cause is very worrying, especially when it comes to something like an assault rifle. I think furthermore, the fact that they blatantly lied about it supposedly being a prop, a toy gun. I think Dr. Ndlozi, when he was still in the EFF, said that it was a part of the fireworks or some ridiculous excuse that we saw. All creates even further doubt around their actual legitimacy. And again, it comes back to the hate speech we see in Kill the Boer. There's no place in South Africa for that kind of behavior. We need to build a future for people in this country that respect the rule of law and make sure that the rule of law is upheld. We need to respect each other, and we shouldn't be polarizing people even further. So I think this is a very important message that is being sent by this conviction. And hopefully it will be a message to those who try and follow this populist type of culture, encouraging violence, singing about violence, and that we rather build a future where the rule of law is upheld.
So we know that on the 23rd of January 2026, Julius Malema will be there for the pre-sentencing. But now, the EFF says that, no, man, we don't think that Julius Malema is going to jail. Because right now, this is what it has been debated on social media. Is Julius Malema going to jail or not? Some people are saying, yes, Julius Malema, you have been found guilty on 5 charges, man, you are going to jail. But then some people are saying, no. There's absolutely no way that Julius Malema is going to jail. So I want you to listen to this segment, guys. I want you to listen to the type of gaslighting that is going to come from the member of parliament of the EFF. I don't know why these people would actually sit there and actually believe that rational South Africans would believe this narrative that is coming, because now it has nothing to do with convincing the supporters of the EFF. The supporters of the EFF will eat up everything that Julius Malema dishes out. It doesn't matter what it is, they are going to eat it out. But right now, it is making a case to ordinary South Africans that have not taken any sides, to try to prove your case, to say that, guys, we are being persecuted. The leader of our political party has been persecuted, and these are the reasons why we believe that he has been persecuted. But for them to actually believe that we are going to believe them when they say things like this, it is actually insane. It is crazy, guys.
I mean, well, your question does not arise because that's not going to happen. The president of the EFF is not going to be arrested. But we are.
I think some people said a couple of years ago that Jacob Zuma is not going to go to jail. I think I remember some people saying that Jacob Zuma is not going to go to jail. I think I heard a similar statement couple of years ago, and now we are hearing the statement that, no, you guys are just blowing this thing out of proportion. Julius Malema is not going anywhere.
I mean, well, your question does not arise because that's not going to happen. The president of the EFF is not going to be arrested. But we are going to fight this faction because we feel as an organization that this is not really about seeking justice, but it is a political witch hunt against our president just to try and discredit him.
I'm sorry, man, to say this, but it has nothing to do with what the EFF feels. He says that they feel as the organization that Julius Malema has been persecuted, but the truth of the matter is that it has nothing to do with what you guys are feeling. And the question is, can you prove that Firearm pursued this case simply because Julius Malema is, quote unquote, speaking on behalf of black people or fighting the white establishment? Can you actually prove it? Instead of saying one thing over and over again, somehow hoping that it will become true. It has nothing to do with your feelings. You can feel however that you want to feel. They can feel however they want to feel. The EFF can feel however they want to feel. But this case has nothing to do with that. It has absolutely nothing to do with that.
We feel as an organization that this is not really about seeking justice, but it is a political witch hunt against our president just to try and discredit him and the entire organization. So this is just against the firm stance of the EFF against it.
I'm sorry, man, like Julius Malema and the EFF, you guys, you don't need Firearm and the white racists to discredit yourselves. You are doing that job yourselves, and you are doing a wonderful job discrediting yourselves. You don't need Firearm to discredit you guys. I mean, honestly, what do you think you are doing, guys, when you are fighting South Africans and trying to force South Africans to live with illegal immigrants in this country? What do you guys think you are doing when you are defending the illegal immigrants in this country? Don't you think that is the EFF hating itself and discrediting itself? What are you guys doing? So you don't need anybody to discredit you as the economic freedom fighters. You are doing that job yourselves, and you are doing a wonderful job. I must say that you are doing a wonderful job. This is the reason why I said the other day when I was reacting to that confrontation of the EFF and Operation Dudula, I said, guys, I actually want the EFF to fight this fight. Going into 2026, I want the EFF to go around the country and tell South Africans about the Constitution and the rule of law, and force South Africans to understand why they must live with illegal immigrants in this country, and force South Africans to understand why the children of illegal immigrants are being enrolled into public schools without providing any documentations. I want them to force South Africans to understand why they must continue to pay for the healthcare, for the security and the shelter of illegal immigrants. I actually want them to fight this fight. The reason why I said that is because these people are doing a good job discrediting themselves. I want you to fight that fight.
I mean, well, your question does not arise because that's not going to happen. The president of the EFF is not going to be arrested. But we are going to fight this battle because we feel as an organization that this is not really about seeking justice, but it is a political witch hunt against our president just to try and discredit him and the entire organization. So this is just against the firm stance of the EFF, against its policies and its 7 cardinal pillars. And it's those right-wing racist organization who seeks to honor the wishes of Donald Trump and everyone else who wish to see the president behind bars. This case was not proven beyond reasonable doubt at the court of law, and the guilty verdict on the president has got nothing to do with justice, but it's a political witch hunt, and that's how we view it.
I'll get to that part in a moment, but to be clear, what you're saying to me is
the same Firearm, that accused number 2 is not guilty of handing it over to him. So we are going to be very interested to hear what the Supreme Court of Appeal there's no case.
And guys, I think there's another thing that the EFF is conflicting here, because they always say that Snyman is the one that gave Malema a firearm. But apparently Snyman is the one that took the gun from Malema. He did not give Malema the gun, but he took the gun from Malema. And even if this guy gave Julius Malema a firearm, why must he be found guilty? It makes no sense. He did not fire the gun in a packed stadium. Why must this guy be found guilty, just like Julius Malema? Because these are two different acts. Giving somebody a gun and somebody taking a gun and firing the gun are two different things. And they keep saying that, no, this guy gave Julius Malema a gun. Why wasn't this guy found guilty? Because he's the one that gave Julius Malema a gun. Malema is the one that fired the gun. I don't know why they are still trying to make this argument. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
The Supreme Court of Appeal there's no case, there's no evidence, there's nothing that implicates President Julius Malema in this case, and we are not faced by it. We don't think that he's going to spend any jail time with this case.
And on the issue of challenging this case, so I've picked up a few things and you can add as we go along in terms of the grounds on which you'd want to mount an appeal. The first that I've picked up just in this response is that you don't believe that the judge came to a rational conclusion, something that is logical in terms of the chain of custody around the gun, etc., right? You also earlier then said this is basically the outcome of a political witch hunt. So when you do go to court, there was also the claim yesterday, I think Julius Malema himself said this, suggesting that there was racial bias as well in the matter. How do you then pull all of that together and convince a court, especially on the latter parts, that, for example, he may have been treated unfairly because he's black and his former bodyguard was white, etc.?
I mean, guys, a person, how can somebody that is speaking like this to now say that they were treated unfairly?
Who can tell me how to answer questions? No one. Not even a hanging judge can do that to me. No one. It's not going to start with you. It has never happened. I'm answering the way I want to answer.
So how can we say that somebody who has the space and the freedom to conduct himself how he did was actually not treated fairly? Because to me, it looks like he actually took advantage of the fact that these people were trying to be reasonable with him. And he was just there to defend himself. he knew that there were cameras there and he had to perform for the supporters of the EFF. And he cannot perform for the supporters of the EFF, give them their world-class performance and come out and say that I was treated unfairly. What do you mean he was treated unfairly?
No, look, the entire case is about race. It's racism against the president of the EFF. Accused number 2 was just there and, as a sideshow. So that they try to hide whatever it is that they were doing. But if you go and look at the case in its totality, I mean, right now, accused number 2 owns the security company that would have been, the owners of the said firearm. But there is a person there who is Mavunda, who then was responsible to issue that firearm. The president asked this question that why is Larry Mavunda not charged? Because he is the one who even came to court and admitted that this firearm was issued to me. It is in my possession. I went to the Eastern Cape and this firearm was left where I stay. It never made its way to the Eastern Cape. And
But didn't you guys say that Sneyman is the one that gave Malema a gun? You see, their stories are not even coming together, man. Their stories are not even coming together because the reason why they were pissed off with the fact that Sneyman was not found guilty is because they said that Sneyman is the one that gave Malema a gun, and somehow the racist court didn't find Sneyman guilty because Sneyman is white like them. So now, there are supporters of the EFF on social media that are threatening anarchy on the name of the EFF, in the name of the EFF. And guys, this is very dangerous. This is very dangerous. You remember what happened during the July 2021 unrest. And we have to speak about this because what I have again realized is that the EFF has not addressed these people that are threatening anarchy in their name. You remember Julius Malema told us that I went to KZN to speak with Jacob Zuma that, man, if you carry on like this and somehow these people drag you to jail, the people will go out and there's going to be chaos, and that chaos is going to ensue in your name, and you cannot afford that to happen. But right now, it seems like Julius Malema is totally fine with anarchy happening in his name, because the supporters of the EFF, they are going insane on social media, saying that if Julius Malema is sent to jail on the 23rd of January 2026, then this country is going down. This country is going down. So why are they not condemning these people that are threatening anarchy? Why? Because they've made it very clear. They've made it very clear. Just like right now, you can see on this post, it says that Fighters 2026 is our 1976. Guys, we know what happened in 1976. And it says that our CIC says that dying or prison in the revolution is the badge of honor. This badge of honor is this badge of honor I'll boldly carry together with my CIC. So this is what this guy is saying, that, man, if I have to die or if I have to go to the prison for this revolution that the EFF is pursuing, because somehow the EFF is trying to convince South Africans that they are pursuing this revolution, that it will be a badge of honor that he will carry together with his chief in command. And now the guy is asking the supporters of the EFF that, guys, are you ready? Are you ready for what's about to come? Are you ready to actually do it? Are you ready?
Fighters, it seems like 2026 is going to be our 1976. It seems like 2026 is going to be our 1976. Are you ready, fighter? Are you ready, fighter? Are you ready, Makawaneka Juju? Are you ready,
The children
of Winnie Mandela? Are you ready, the offsprings of the legendary Peter Mokaba? It seems like 2026 is going to be our 1976.
So this is the kind of language that is coming from the economic freedom fighters. This is the kind of language that is coming from the EFF. And if Julius Malema is sent to jail on the 23rd of January 2026, and these people go ahead and destroy this country, I want the EFF to know that it will be their fault. Just like it was the fault of Jacob Zuma not to even say a word. People's business were being destroyed in KZN. People were losing their lives. And instead of Jacob Zuma coming out and saying that, guys, you cannot do what you are doing in my name. You cannot hurt other black people in my name. You need to stop what you are doing right now. And if you're going to continue to do this, do not say that you are doing it for me. So if the same thing happens, I hope the EFF knows that the blood will be on their hands. I hope that they know that the blood will be on their hands. And it is shameful that we actually have the people in this country that believes that the politicians should not be held accountable. And as an average South African, you are asking yourself for why this country is moving backwards. And this is the reason why. This is the reason why. Guys, please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like button and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.